Hi, it's Anton from Resource Education, and I'm going to share with you a brilliant activity for narrative tenses, but also works wonders for creative writing and for, getting thoughts flowing when telling stories. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm quite the dreamer. I can easily let my imagination run wild while listening to music, think of different scenarios, things like that. I even remember my dreams quite often in the morning, and I like thinking about them. It's part of my morning routine, recollecting dreams and things like that. So I have to admit, I don't find activities where imagination, where creativity is necessary, that difficult. But some students do. Let's face it, we are all different. We all have different skills, different talents, and it's my job to help students with that. So there's an activity based on dreams that I find really useful for this. It's simply called In My Dreams, and it'll be useful to practice and master narrative tenses for sure anyways. You can use it for creative writing. You can also use it for creative speaking, coming up with ideas and making the story flow as you go. A bit of improvisation. So on each card, it's very simple. On each card, you have a simple statement, in my dream, and something specific happened. And the students are going to make their dream around that information. I'll give you a few examples. I won't go through all the cards because there are a bunch. You can all find them on Resource Education, our website with Tom Wiseman. Check out In My Dream for narrative tenses and creative writing. You're going to love it. Your students are going to love it. For example, so let's start with, in your dream, you opened a restaurant that served only insects. You won't believe it. Last night, I had this dream. Okay, so first thing, you know how in dreams, you're not especially surprised by crazy things happening around you? Well, it turned out that in my dream, I was with a few friends and we were chatting and everything. It turned out that they had all turned into spiders the night before. So there I was chatting with my friends and they were all spiders. They were all spiders. I wasn't scared. They were still my friends. We had a great time and everything, except when it came to eating. At that moment, we started looking for a place where we could all have a nice meal. And funnily enough, even though my crazy dream turned my friends into spiders, it changed their diet as well. My friends were not happy with pizza, sushi, any of the typical places to go out to eat. So we couldn't find a place that served insects for them. So in the end, I opened a restaurant that served only insects. It was a special restaurant for my dear friends that had just turned into spiders. There you have it. In your dream, you opened a restaurant that served only insects. In your dream, you bought a boat. Well, yes, I did have that dream. It was not really a crazy dream, honestly. It was one of those dreams, when you're searching for something, but you don't exactly know what. So most of the dream was me going to different places in search of something, and I could never really understand what I was searching for. Funnily enough, at one point, I found myself, and you know how in dreams, places, locations are completely random. Well, at some time, I was at home in St. Petersburg. At others, I was close to family in Paris and in England. So I really went around the place. In the end, I ended up in this really nice port. It seemed to be like a Mediterranean port. And I don't know what happened. I just saw this sailboat. No engine, no nothing, just a very nice old-fashioned sailboat. And the moment I saw it, for some reason, I felt deep inside that that's what I was searching for the entire dream. So, in my dream, I bought a boat. In your dream, 3 aliens came to your house for tea. Now, that was a fun dream. You know how in cartoons, nothing bad can happen to people. Well, like in those crazy cartoons where they hit each other, things like that, they fall off skyscrapers and they bounce on the floor, doom, doom, doom. Then they have little birdies around their heads. It started off as a dream like that, even though I was a real person and it felt like the real world. Nothing bad could happen to me. So there were a few incidents when I fell from a height and I just rebounded on the floor. I felt a bit dizzy, but that was it. And at one point, I was hit by these guys. They punched me, and again, it wasn't like real life. I just had these birds tweeting around my head for a moment that made me dizzy. I couldn't tell my surroundings, and when I looked at who had hit me, it was actually 3 aliens. Now, the aliens were very apologetic. They didn't understand that it was a bad thing here. Apparently, in their world, punching is like waving to us. So we had a good laugh, and in the end, I invited them home, and apparently, I don't usually do this. I don't drink a lot of tea, honestly, but in my dream, I just invited them for tea. So in my dream, 3 aliens came to my house for tea. In your dream, you sold your house. That was a follow-up dream to the dream where I bought a boat. You know, I'd finally found what I was looking for. Have you ever had follow-up dreams? Like it's a dream, so another night. It's a dream another night that kind of is linked to a dream that you had before. So that was fun. Maybe I should see someone. Maybe I should see someone about all these dreams. So it was a follow-up dream to the dream about the boat. You remember? I'd been searching all night long. Throughout the dream, I'd been searching for something, but I couldn't tell what. And then in the end, I saw this boat, and I understood that that was what I'd been searching for. So I bought that boat. Well, a few nights later, there I was again, sleeping, dreaming, and I was on my sailboat. You remember, I'd bought a sailboat, so I was on my sailboat, enjoying my first sail around. I came back to port, and I felt so satisfied, so fully satisfied, so satiated that I understood that I didn't need a land home anymore. I was going to spend the rest of my life sailing around the globe, going from country to country, city to city, meeting new people, and that was it. The rest of my dream was basically about me going back home and selling my house that I don't really have, actually, but let's say that was it. In my dream, I sold my house. This is loads of fun. I love doing these things. I love surprising students with this. It's great to practice because with no preparation, when we're doing spontaneous reactions like that, we really get the full picture of what our students master. They can't pull off a past perfect, a past continuous. They can't pull off certain idioms, collocations when they're doing this spontaneously unless or until they really master it. So one last card. Let me shuffle because I just read it and that gave me a little bit of time to secretly get my thoughts together. So I'm going to shuffle the cards. One last one. In your dream, you bought 50 cats. 50 cats. In my dream, I bought 50 cats. Well, this was actually, let's finish with a scary dream. You know, sometimes it happens. This was a scary dream. I can't say it was an actual nightmare, but it was a little stressful. I did wake up in a bit of stress. Why, you ask? Well, thank you for asking. Why, you ask? Because in my dream, you know what? In my dream, a flood had started. It'd been raining and raining and raining for days, non-stop, all over the world, and just the sea level was rising and rising, and nobody could believe it. Scientists weren't. scientists couldn't believe what was going on around the world. They were searching for answers, trying to find out what was going on. Well, some of us decided that, okay, science has left us. It doesn't make sense that the sea levels rise this much, that there's this much water coming from the skies, but never mind. We made our peace with it, and we started looking for a way out. So a number of us started building big, large boats, thinking that we would save all the species of the world and wait out this torrential rain, this torrential flood. Now, we were smart though, and we figured that if we just put all the animals together in one boat, well, you know, some animals would probably eat the other ones. So we split up into teams and into different boats. And I was in charge of the cat boat, the feline boat. So off I went. I toured the world, buying different kinds of cats. Big cats, small cats, pets, wild ones. And in the end, I bought 50 different kinds of cats. Now, obviously, there are more than 50 different kind of species of cats in the world. I'm pretty sure, I haven't checked. 50 is an oddly rounded number for that. But hey, it was my dream, and that's what happened. In my dream, I bought 50 cats. There you have it. It's called In My Dream, In Your Dream. It's for narrative tenses, for creative writing, and it's a great, great activity to work on fluency with your students, to make sure that they master those narrative tenses. It's not good enough to just fill in the blanks, especially, you know, with those fill in the blank activities where you always have one past simple, one past continuous, one past simple, one past continuous. Ooh, one past continuous, one past simple. How tricky. It doesn't work that way when you're really telling stories. So, check out In My Dream, In Your Dream. It's a great, great activity on resource education. Hope you enjoyed the video.